Hey guys, we should be live for what it seems. Yep, we are. Welcome to the channel. It's Rad for those who doesn't know me. Just let me put the statistics on. Uh, in this whole live stream, we're gonna look into the February of 2022. Hopefully it's going to be much more eventful than January, because I'm just speaking from myself. January wasn't exactly the most eventful month. In a matter of fact, I went out for about few occasions, so it was pretty lazy and, I don't know, negligent month, at least for me, that is. But hopefully February is gonna give way more rewards, because that's what I am looking for the work and for the actions we do. So we shall see when I start to perform the 12 readings for all the 12 of star signs. But before we go to all the 12 readings, I just want to do one general for the month of February, just to see, what the general energy for the month is going to be. I haven't pre-drew the cards, which I do usually for the thumbnail. It's just the thumbnail happened a little bit more rushy than usual. Hello, Marina. Welcome to the stream. Nothing to thank me for. And I will give you a little bit of a secret, guys. Just a little bit of a secret here. You probably know that the content on the channel consists into weekly readings and live streams, and I do enjoy doing the live streams. I don't know, by it's, you can't even call it a large margin. It's a gigantic margin above the weekly readings. Hello, Lydia. And Lauren, welcome to the live stream. Hello there. Right, so let's check on the general energy of the month of February. And the first card we have, that is going to be the Three of Wands. The second card of the month, and by the way, I'm gonna take my time here to explain the spread that I'm gonna use for this live stream. By the way, that is a spread that I use universally almost for everything. It's far better than the Celtic cross one, or at least I see it that way. Just a 4-card spread. So the first one shows us the topic, the second card shows us the challenges, the third card shows us what is gonna help us move through, or these are the positive aspects, the positive energies of the upcoming transit. So in this particular case, we do have the Seven of Cups, and the final card, it shows the outcome. You can't really you can't really name it an outcome. That is like the summary, what comes out of all of this. So the last card here for the month is going to be the Devil. We do have these 4 cards, and let's start with the elephant in the room for the months. Throughout the month of February, we, as an attitude, it will be in a huge disadvantage of us to display any kind of affection, in a sense of like, for example, if there is a event or a circumstance that we do not like, or that makes us weak in generally, for us to display it. I mean, we may be affected, but it is best for us to kind of like keep it to ourselves. That is because throughout the month we need to truly look strong, and also we need to look determined. And when we show weakness, determination is not something that goes along very well with weaknesses in generally. Also, the month of February, by the look of these cards, it's a month of some turnarounds, kind of like change into direction as well. Throughout this month could be the, how do I put it into words? What could happen, it is that we decide to undertake some new ventures, on an expense of already established ventures. But hello GH, welcome to the stream. But above everything else, the month of February overall, guys, is going to be a month where we are going to build on top of our already existing and consistent patterns, foundations. But in order to do so, we have to truly challenge ourselves. So whatever progress we made thus far with our business or with our romantic life or with our, I don't know, our personal life in general, with our life in general, we shouldn't stop here, and we definitely should not take it for granted. But instead, we need to push our own personal limits, our own personal boundaries, like, you know, push your business further. For example, add some kind of a new services into it, or push your relationship further by proposing or by just moving in together and these kind of stuff. So things needs to be forcefully pushed further. Otherwise, they're going to just stumble into one particular or into one specific place. But the strongest energy that we do have for the month of February comes from these two cards here, okay? From these two cards, Seven of Cups and the Devil card, and they pretty much speaks that whatever dreams and hopes we do have into the month of February, we are to form the circumstances so they can become true into the future. So month of February should be very efficient, if you want to call it that way, and easygoing month for us. Should we not be stuck into monotonous routine, and as well should we not show any weakness on top of it as well. All right, so that was just the general reading for the month of February. And now, before we go to the 12 star signs, let me just explain you how the live stream is to work. Within this live stream, I'm gonna read for all 12 star signs, four card spread per star sign, and the spread is just the same that I used right now. Starting from Aries to Pisces, there are gonna be 3 breaks, actually 2 breaks, and after Pisces there are going to be the last break. So after Cancer and after Scorpio and after Pisces, there are going to be breaks, and within these breaks I will gift you a 1 free reading. To one individual I will gift a 1 free reading. In order to participate and get that free reading, all you gotta do is just input a question into the comments down below once I do announce the break. And out of the pool of the questions, should there be a pool of questions, because sometimes there is just only 1 or 2, I'm going to pick 1 question and I'm going to perform a professional reading on that question for free here on public. Other than that, if you do enjoy the show, and if you do wish to support me through super chat support is going to get their reading at the end of the live stream regardless, so they are going to get their reading. Tracy Hug, thank you so much for your $4.99 US dollar support. And Mattia, thank you so much for your $4.99 support. Thank you so much, guys. Let me put you into the list, and at the end of the live stream, you know it, you're gonna get a personalized reading for the transit. But yeah, everyone who supports what I do and me through super chat is gonna get their reading at the end of the live stream. Another thing, guys, it is that there is a special sales right now going on up until the end of January. One of the special sale, it is for the service answer to a question. Basically, when you purchase answer to a question service, you get 2 questions to be answered for the price of 1. You don't have to do anything special about it. You just purchase an answer to a question, and I'm gonna ask you for the second question through an email, or you can just input 2 questions in it and I'm going to answer them. And the other sale is for the 20 minutes live reading. If should you purchase 20 minutes live reading, you do get a 5 minutes on top of as well, just automatically. That is up until the end of January. Good evening, Mattia. And Danny, welcome to the stream. Alright guys, so that concludes the overview of the stream, and now let's jump into the first star sign for the evening, which is going to be Aries. Let me shuffle very well for that. What are my statistics? All right, so Aries, first one for you that you do have, that is going to be the Wheel of Fortune, followed by, what do you think, guys? Should I bring, now that is going to be for the next live stream. I have to think about it very carefully before I actually do that, okay? So right now we are gonna stick up to the scenario for now, that is, but for the next live stream there could be some kind of a surprise that is gonna come out. Next one, that is going to be the Hermit, followed by the third card, which stands as the Ace of Pentacles, and the final card for you, Aries, that is going to be Temperance. So the month of February is going to touch everything you are afraid about, that is going to go south, and that it's not gonna work in generally. And in the month of February, you are to make it work for yourself. Just right off the get-go, month of February for you, Aries, should be a month of very successful business steps, like business projects, like clients as well, like business maneuvers in generally. And as well, it should be a month for kind of like harmonious relationships, not just only intimate relationships, but as well business partnerships, but as well friendships also. The only issue that we can see here in these cards, it is the Hermit into the second position for you, okay, here into the second position there, which kind of speaks that and it is not an issue, it is just some people find it to be an issue. The Hermit there, it just only says that one thing can be replaced with another, or in other words, these harmonious relationships, that these successful business maneuvers, they're not going to be as important as you may make them to be. So you can definitely carry on without them as well, which is a good thing in the grand scheme of things, because you don't become entitled, because you don't kind of like how do you what is the opposite to, oh my god, I forgot the word, bond. So you don't become bound into something specific. What is the opposite of independent? A dependent is definitely okay. So you do not become dependent by it. But other than that, by the end of all that, it seems that you're gonna find a pretty good way tackling with your own personal stuff, with your career, and with your relationships as well. Should you face any difficulties, you definitely are going to find the correct approach, and as well the correct how can I put it into words, performance to deal with the issues. And something else which I do cherish and value a lot, that is going to happen to you, I don't know if you do that, but if you do value it the same way, but here into the month at the end, as a result of these harmonious codependent, yeah, it could, you can call it that way, it's codependent. You depend on the project depend on you, yeah, that's something like that. But if it is not as important as it can be, and you can carry on without it, you are not exactly dependent, which means that neither anybody nor the circumstances can blackmail you, right? So it's a good thing at the end of the day. It's just, it's not that important thing that you may had hoped for. So as a result of the harmonious relationships that you're going to establish into the month of February, Aries, you can expect at the end, should there be any differences in between you and the people that you're dealing with, either intimately or just friendship like, you know, or business like, that doesn't, it's not going to provoke any arguments. There isn't going to be any fights out there, because the respect is going to still be there. Even if you do feel and think in a different way, you still are going to respect each other, which is going to bring quite a bit of a solidarity and as well compassion. So you can expect to end up the month in a really, really good term with everybody around. And also be on the lookout, because throughout this month of February, Aries, there is going to be one opportunity coming your way, and I really wanted to check with Lenormand what that opportunity is going to be, okay? Which is going to make a lifetime change for you. But I will not gonna bring those cards, because right now they're gonna show something great, but for other star signs they will not gonna show that great things, or they may not show great things. And I don't want to risk it, because they can show you literally anything. Hello, Deborah. Isn't it way too late in Italy, or you are a night owl just like I am? Because I'm in Bulgaria and I know that you are 1 hour behind, which speaks that right now it is a 2:16 a.m. where you are, or maybe you are going through a night shift. All right, next one, we do have Taurus. And for Taurus, the first card, it is going to be the Seven of Cups, followed by the Three of Pentacles. Moving next, that is going to be Temperance. And the final one, we have the Ten of Wands. So for Taurus, the month of February, it's about a personal breakthrough, and it is about a personal growth. The month is all about what you can make and create for yourself without using the help or the support of anybody around. And at the start of it, Taurus, you may feel like, and that is going to be about some of you, okay, not about every single one of you, but you may feel that if you don't have that help or that support in your life, you are kind of like doomed, and you stand for nothing, and you're going to be pretty much wrong about it. Because should you decide to move forward without capitalizing on support and on, how can I put it into words, partnerships even, you are to see that actually you can make pretty significant progress with your life, with your love life, with your romantic life, with your career life, and so on and so forth. Here, the month of February for you, Taurus, is about how far your dreams are stretching, and it is because they are your dreams, okay? They are your personal dreams, and your personal dreams can happen only should you make your own personal efforts into them. From a positive standpoint, in the month of February, it's highly unlikely that you are going to screw up the things in such a way that's, you are going to screw up your life. The most negative impact that you may feel from a wrong decision or from a wrong move is going to be just a disappointment, because you are always going to be given the benefit of the doubt, and through it you are always going to be gifted with a second chance. So if you do want to try out stuff, month of February, it's a great month for you to do so, but they need to be only benign stuff. On the flip side, in a negative aspect, month of February is not going to be exactly a great month for you, where you can build up allies, where you can count on, how can I put it into words, fruitful conversations with your colleagues, with your boss, even with your family, if you will. Cooperations also. I mean, there could be a cooperations, but these cooperations, they will always gonna ask something from you. They're not going to be benevolent, okay? And that's why you should not waste your breath constantly trying to explain yourself. Ultimately, at the end, for what it seems here, you guys are going to have a lot on your plate at the end of the day, and career-wise or relationship-wise. And how do I put it into words? Well, that's the thing. Whatever you do have at your plate, all of it is gonna promise a great rewards. So if you do have on your plate few projects and one prospect for relationship, they all are going to promise a great rewards at the end. The problem is, do you have the time for all that? And so you may stand in front of some choices, what you should be a part of and what you could lose. And for some of you, it may feel like a great burden because you would want to be into all of it, but you can't, so you have to cut something loose there. All in all, Taurus, you need to know, guys, that no matter how overwhelming things may look, should they look overwhelming into the upcoming month, you can definitely make it work. You can make it work. So you should not kind of like bail out of initiative and bail out of I don't know how to put it into words, of involvement, to bail out of involvement. Yeah. Hey Kristen, right now we are moving for Gemini. Thank you, Mark. Thank you so much. But yeah, guys, if you do enjoy the content here, liking and subscribing, and even if you can, sharing is gonna help me a lot. Right, so Gemini. For Gemini, the first card, that is going to be the Six of Pentacles, followed by the second card of the Seven of Pentacles. Moving next, we do have the Ten of Cups. And the final one for Gemini, that is going to be Three of Pentacles. Wow. I believe you are Greta, aren't you? Wow, thank you so much for your $50 support, Greta. Thank you so much. Definitely make sure you stick around up until the end. Thank you so much, Greta. So yeah, thank you. Make sure you do stick around up until the end, and there you are going to have a personalized reading for the transit, just like everybody else who supports me through super chat. So Gemini. Again, the cards: Six of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, Ten of Cups, and Three of Pentacles. Okay, so Gemini. Oh my God, Gemini. You have potential to make the month great for you. The issues that are standing in front of you of making your month great, or in other words, being pleased with everything that you have established there. And don't get me wrong, the month of February for you, Gemini, could be a month where you do. How do you say that in English, guys? You gotta help me out, because I struggle to find the right words every single stream, where pretty much resolve everything. You fix your love life, you fix your career, you fix your personal status as well. How do you call that in English when you fix everything? Because we do have a word here in Bulgarian, but I don't know what is the word in English. So yeah, you do have a potential to fix everything that it is out there: career, love, with family as well. Now the strong effort that is going to take place for you into the months of this not December but February is going to be exactly where you are finding yourself most unhappy at, where things feel like they doesn't worth trying it out, where it feels like it doesn't worth keep on fighting for it. Well into the month of resolve or a resolution. So a state of resolve, is that what you are calling it? I thought the resolve means something else. Resolve, what I thought it means, it is that when you stand in the face of danger and you have the resolve to face it, in a sense of that you are not going to, you know, you're not going to show any weakness. You do have resolve. You're not going to waver in front of it. It's like, I thought the resolve is something like courage. But in any case, so yeah, for Gemini, the whole month is going to focus on the things they don't think worth fighting for anymore, and throughout the month they are to see that that worth, either all of a suddenly or slowly progressively, is going to regain its appearance. So should you have problems into your business, those problems are gonna find their resolution. Should you have problems into your relationships, these problems are gonna find their resolution. Now, the only issue with the Seven of Pentacles is that do you have, or not, you do have what it takes. Are you willing to give it? That's the big question here, okay? Are you willing to give what it takes to fix what you want to regain back its worth, either into your career or either into your relationship? In any case, at the end though, Gemini, it seems that you do finalize the month in a really good state, where you are going to find yourself being supported in some kind of a development of yours, in a sense of that you may be supported in your job by your boss or by your supervisor. You may be supported in your personal stuff by your husband or your wife. It is just you are going to get a support that will help you into your further development. More than that, it is that at the end of the month you can expect to have very important discussions and negotiations even about your future, either career-wise or either relationship-wise as well. You may negotiate your wedding, or you may be negotiating your future promotion, future deals, some kind of a negotiations which are gonna prove to be very important, and as well they are going to reflect your stability and as well cooperation. Your question is about property. Give me your question, Greta, and I'm going to input it into the super chat reading. Right, so that was more or less for Gemini. One thing I forgot to mention here, it is that for you the month is also solo, just like for Taurus. Although you can expect some kind of a help to come around, and you can rely on help, unlike Taurus, for you, Gemini, the help you can receive is not going to resolve your issues. It's just only going to postpone the issues. Into my courses, people that are taking my course and that I'm teaching tarot to, I usually explain that help in such a way. Hello, Ella. Welcome to the stream. Long time no see. So imagine that you do have a huge loan and you have to repay back that loan, and you do take another loan to repay the first loan. So yeah, you do fix the issue with the first loan, but you do have now the issue of the second loan. So in reality, you have not fixed the issue, you just have postponed it. Okay, so I assume, Greta, you do want to know, are you gonna sell it or not? Is that what you want to know? Okay, thank you, Pisces Moonbeam. By the way, for those who doesn't know, Pisces Moonbeam was really helpful upgrading my language ever so often when I kind of like face a word that I cannot make of anything about. I am asking her about it. How long is gonna take, and would it be idle for sale? Would they be? Oh, you are going. Are you gonna be able to sell it? All right. So, let me hold on a second here. Well, Greta, I can tell you right now that if you do want to sell it, you are gonna sell it. Just put it, how can I put it into words? I put its price $1 and it's gonna be sold like in a moment. Okay, that's not the question. The question is, are you gonna be able to sell it for the right price? Right? I believe that's how the question should be formed, because such a question, are you gonna be able to sell it? Yeah, I mean, you will. Put it on $1 price and it's sold right away. Liz, thank you so much for your $5 US. Support, Liz. Make sure you do stick around up until the end of the live stream, and I'm going to give you a personalized reading for the month. So we do have Cancer now. First card for Cancer, that is going to be the Page of Swords. Let me just hold on a second so I can look into the camera preview so I can see. Can you see the cards? All right, so we do have the Page of Swords followed by the Hangman. Moving next, that is going to be the Four of Pentacles. And the final one for you, Cancer, we have the Queen of Swords. Those four cards. Danny, thank you so much for your $4.99. Thank you so much, Danny. Make sure you as well stick up until the end of the live stream, where I'm going to... Where is my coffee? Here. There is my coffee. Where I'm going to perform you a personalized reading for the live stream. And hello, Robin. Long time no see. But for Cancer, that is going to be a difficult read, guys. I need a second here. Month of February for Cancer is gonna be a rough month, not because something out of the blue is gonna take place and is gonna ruin your stuff, guys. It's gonna be a rough month because you're gonna have so many people to argue with about stuff. It is just the month of February for you. It is one constant aggravation that is gonna go forward, and I kind of like, I pity my brother right now. And I will give you an example what I mean through my brother. As you may all know, or not all, but some of you may know, he does have a business being a coiffure or coiffure, depending on which version of the word you use. That is a hairstylist. And with those cards, if he had a personal reading with me, with those cards about business, with those cards, I would tell you the clients you are gonna have in the month of February, they're going to take the cake. Just they're gonna be so annoying, aggravating, demanding, and as well, how can I put it into words? Always displeased at the end of the day. Other than that, month of February, it's just you are to see that you have established pretty good, I would say, foundation about the things that matter in your life, the things into your, or rather like your business life, your career, your relationship life as well. The only thing that you should be careful about, and you should not give away to, is the taunt. Probably is the word that I should use. What I'm trying to say here is that people are gonna taunt you. People are going try to provoke you to end in a conflict with them for one or another reason, and that could be as well in your family, guys. That could be in your family. So do not give way to it. And whenever you do feel hostility around, try to kill it with kindness. Or even better, if kindness doesn't work, try to kill it with ignorance. That way, for sure. Because the theme of the month here, it is that you are going to be severely misunderstood, just as you are going to misunderstand the people around. It's just there will be that kind of like barrier in communications. You want from out of your best intentions to convey some kind of a message to your beloved one, or to your mother or a father, you know, or to your colleagues, boss, and they take it the wrong way, and then just go and explain that it is not what you meant. Okay, it's once the outburst starts, it's just nothing stopping it out there. So whenever you do start feeling hostility, just don't answer to it. Just ignore it, or try to kill it with kindness. Into the month of February, on another on another look, you may, if you are in a dire need of help, very, very unexpected help is going to come about. Under unexpected, I mean that this is going to be the last place or the last person you would have expected help to come about from, but alas, it will, and it's going to be very, very efficient, efficient help. And finally, for you, Cancer, I hope that you do have a big dreams and goals for the month of February. You do have a huge plan for it, because guys, at the end of the month, you are to see yourself being able to push through your agenda. So I hope that your agenda is rather quite big here. Agenda about love or agenda about career. Either way is gonna work for you. It's just the only Cancer which are going to be at the end of the month dissatisfied is the Cancer who has no sight for the future. But and that's why I do hope that you do have your sight, you know what you want, and you definitely can make it work in the month of February. All right, so that concludes the first 4 star signs, and now we are entering into the first break. And as I said at the start of the live stream, guys, in those breaks, I'm gonna gift to one of you a free reading. All you gotta do to enter in that, it's not even a competition, it's a poll. All that you gotta do, just input your question into the comments down below. Within the next 5 minutes, I'm going to put my stopwatch of 5 minutes, and after these 5 minutes I'm going to pick one question and perform a professional reading on it. Unless you have a knife. Huh. Oh. Well, what you said kind of like jogged my memory into something, but I'm not gonna say it because it's pretty much the perfect crime. So, and I'm not going to open up the, how can I put it into words? The inventive mind of people. But basically the result was that a woman killed her husband, and they couldn't find the body because there was no body to be found at the end of the day. I know how she did it, and I'm not saying it because, yeah. 3 minutes to go. 3 minutes to go, guys. If you do have a question, now is the time to input that question. Huh. I know you were joking. I was just saying what your joke made me evoke as a memory. Lauren, right away, I will tell you I cannot answer that question, and I will tell you why. Because being pregnant, it's uh, it's a medical condition, okay? It's just a medical condition, being pregnant. And tarot is not designed to read health. Although there are pregnancy cards, I wouldn't go by them. Because it's just I wouldn't go by them. You're welcome, Robin. Adrian or Bill, oh my god, you do have a choice to make, Caroline or Caroline, whichever one is the right one. Most people don't. I mean, I don't, at least. I have nobody to choose from. Which is, from one side, when you look at it, it is better because you don't have anything to disturb you, you know. What? Traffic ticket? Why do you have a traffic ticket? When I was driving, I didn't have any ticket whatsoever because I was going by the rules. Okay, that's very important to me. I'm that kind of a person. I can never go outside the rules. If the rule says speed limit 50 kilometers per hour, I do 50 kilometers per hour. I do not go above it. It is just one of my eyes. It is always on the mileage, looking, am I on the 45 to 50 kilometers of traffic? Of course, probably I have been cursed for many times from the drivers from behind me, but I don't care. It is what the law says. It is what I do, because I am law-abiding citizen. All right, so the question that I am to pick is going to be to the question of Tracy Hug. Being on the list for a specific hosting community for 2 years, am I waiting in vain? Let's check it out, Tracy. Oh, you were rear-ended? Wait, if you have been hit from the rear, then why do you have a traffic ticket? What I mean is that, at least in our country, if you have been hit in the rear, then the other one is takes the full responsibility. The one who hit you in the rear. Well, that's such a odd laws you are carrying on by. Well, Tracy, those are the cards we have. We do have the Tower. Afterwards, it is the Page of Cups, a Three of Wands, and at the end, that is going to be the King of Swords. I think that this community is coming to an end. I mean, no joke about it, or at least your participation into this community is coming to an end, Tracy. But to your question, are you waiting in vain? The Page of Cups into the second position pretty much says, yeah, you are waiting in vain, because that card there, it pretty much shows that there will be no reshuffling or juggling into the structure and the positions. So whoever is hosting is gonna keep on hosting, and you're not going to be the one who hosts. But what those cards are suggesting, it is that you can do something alike with either another community, or you can build that community. And the idea of that, it should kind of like settle down by the end of this year. So yeah, I mean, you are waiting in vain, at least according to these cards. Rebecca, no, because at least in our country, the one who is from behind, its duty is to keep enough distance so he can react on time regardless of what the one up front is doing, even if it puts the handbrake right there, okay? Even if it stop at place at one moment, the one behind, its duty is to keep enough distance to react and to avoid. No matter what your driving is in our country, in my country, should you be hit from behind, the one who hit you from behind, it's guilty of all of it. Lydia, do you have a better option? I mean, what kind of a question is that? I don't want to sound like a mockery, but if you do even remotely like the guy, hell yes. Yes. Yeah, I believe that that's the case in all of the world. I do think, Danny, that if that's your case, that you have been hit from behind, even if you don't have any insurance, at least how it is here, the insurance of the other guy is supposed to cover your expenses. Oh wait, you didn't have the mandatory insurance, didn't you? Because here we do have two insurances. One is mandatory to cover up the damages that you do, and the other one is to cover up the damages that you do to yourself. No attraction. Well, that doesn't mean that you cannot grow and love the guy. I mean, the real love comes with time. Should that guy is trustworthy, reliable, you know, and he treats you well, you are going to grow to love him. So if you don't have any other options right now and you are not attracted remotely to anybody else, give the man a chance. Why not? You're welcome, Tracy. You're welcome. Okay, so if you don't have the mandatory insurance, Danny, then yeah, I mean, there is no dropping of it. I mean, you don't have it, you don't have it. That's the case. At least here, it is how it is. And you even here in my country, you are under a fine that you do not made the mandatory insurance. You are not supposed to drive your car. Driving your car without a mandatory insurance, even if you do not make an accident, it's considered a felony. And it's a pretty huge felony, by the way. Thank you, Lydia. All right, so let's move to the next 4 star signs. We do have on our hands Leo, Virgo, Libra, and then Scorpio. And after Scorpio, another free reading is going to take place, guys. So even if you didn't have your free reading now, don't despair. You will have a chance for a couple more chances in these live streams. Yeah, Shay, you are right. But she doesn't know what the relationship is going to be. So why, if she doesn't have any other options available, why don't she even try it out? And if she doesn't like it in a week or two, she may cut him loose. What is there? What is there to lose? I just don't understand. She doesn't know what kind of a relationship she's gonna have with a guy. All right, so Leo, first one for you, that is going to be the Nine of Pentacles, followed by the Five of Swords. Moving next, we have the Devil. And the final one for Leo, that is going to be the Three of Wands. So we do have those 4 cards for you, Leo. Those 4. Overall, fantastic month. Aside from that, you can pretty much overstay your welcome or overstep yourself. Other than that, the month is going to be a month of great progression for you guys. Throughout this month, should you be looking for work or should you be looking for a partner in life, it's likely that you are to stumble upon the big thing, like the right person, like the right job. So if your question is, am I gonna get a right job for myself in the next upcoming month, even better, in the next month, yes, you are going to. Or should you have a question, am I going to end up with a person that is right for me? Yes, you are going to end up with. Now, ending up doesn't mean have it in the bag though. So you are gonna end up with such an opportunity. Are you gonna take it? That's entirely up to you to decide. But the month pretty much is gonna bring you everything you yearn for, and hopefully you do not kind of like play it out. That is an expression in my country. Play it out means like waste it. But you can definitely overstay your welcome, because throughout the month, Leo, you're going to feel very powerful. What I mean is that if you are a counselor, for example, your counsel will shine above any other. Should you be, how can I put it into words, in some kind of a status, your status is going to way exceed its limits as well, and it's just that power is gonna feel very sweet. And you may kind of like damage some relationships that you do have with friends or with colleagues through that power, to a point where you may humiliate people you do not want to, and that you may do unintentionally. So while it's going to be a great month for you to make a huge leap into development, career-wise or relationship-wise, before you make that leap, consider what kind of a consequences that is going to have, not for you, but for the people around. However, by the end of the month, Leo, you are going to end up in a sitting on a pretty good what is going on tonight? So you're gonna end up sitting on well-established accomplishments, okay, like accomplishments into your career, and as well accomplishments into your romantic life, friendship life, or in other words said, whatever expectations you do have for the end of the month, all of these expectations are to be met in a good way, and from there you just have to opt for a bigger accomplishment. If you do not opt for them, the universe is not going to bring them to you. Just there isn't much to be said about Leo other than this month, guys, whatever you say, whatever you want, it goes. It's pretty much like that. So if you do have a person of interest, if you do have a job you want to tackle with, that's the month you do it, because they are pretty much are going to be powerless against you, or powerless resisting you in any way there. Right, so that was for Leo. Now moving next, we do have a Virgo. And shape, happiness is relative, okay? Because some people consider to be happy when they are having children, other people consider themselves happy when they are free, other people considers them happy when they are rich. So happiness is very relative, and there are a lot of men and as well women. I'm not, because you know the TV and all that portrays that only women does that, but that's not true. I know a lot of men that have been in a relationship because of the money of their woman, okay, or the family of their woman, and so on and so forth, and they are happy. Yeah, they are under a toll, right? They are smothered under a toll, but they don't mind that because they have money. They are happy because of the money. And I mean, people are different. All right, so Virgo. First one for you, Virgo, that is going to be the Ace of Swords, followed by the second card of the Seven of Cups. Moving next, we have the Nine of Pentacles, and the final card for you, Virgo, that is going to be the Six of Swords. All right, so those 5 cards for you. So the month for Virgo is going to be very busy. And it's going to be busy because this month is going to be decisive in about your foreseeable future, in a sense of how you do settle with partners, with people in general. Therefore, you can expect that the month is going to be very active in relationships or in interactions, so to speak. There are going to be a lot of conversations. There are going to be a lot of negotiations as well, and all of them are going to be about a progress. There aren't going to be any conversations, for example, where you are to be attacked, where you are to be, how can I put it into words? Pressed. I don't know how to say it. You know, you talk with somebody and they are blaming you about stuff. There aren't going to be such conversations out there, but conversations where you and the people that you are talking with, you're going to talk about how you can make the things work, you know, how you can make the things work into your career or into your business or into your romantic life. And the main subject of troubles are going to be is going to be the right moment and the right time, because the things that you are going to talk about, they will require a very specific setup, and the negotiations will be, or the conversations are going to be about the setup, you know, when the setup takes place, what you are going to do about it. And should your conversations are to be spot on, and they are, but by the way, they have to be very honest, they have to be very open, and the setup comes about, I think that you're going to make a very, very significant progress career-wise or relationship-wise as well. And at the end of this month here for you, Virgo, you are going to have a huge opportunity in front of you. Many of you are going to consider that opportunity as something you are not ready for, and very small percentage of you even may consider it as something you are not you do not deserve, okay? But that's, none of these things is the case in either of these cases. You are to be afraid to take on that opportunity, but in reality there is nothing for you to be afraid of. Just to give you an example, you may have chased somebody for a very, very long time, considering that person, you considering that this person, it's a pretty big piece for you to chew up. And ultimately, at the end of month of February, that person decides to give it a try, and you are afraid to try it out because you think that you may fail. In any case, that's not what's going to happen. I mean, that you are going to be afraid in vain. That's my point. And all that you have to do is just take on a leap forward and traverse that threshold towards a new height. For Virgo, the month is great. Should you decide to ask for promotion, for example, should you decide to propose as well, to speak about children, to have children with your wife or husband, to ask about anything, there is going to be, like I said, a specific setup, a time and a place for you to do so. You will know when the time and the place are right. Okay, you will know it from within. Your inner voice is going to tell you that, and you just have to act on it. You should not be hesitant. You need to be ready to jump into action, and once you do so, boom, a major breakthrough. All right, so that was for Virgo. Now moving next, we do have Libra. See, he's not a bad man. Hey Melda, yeah, I'm kind of okay. So at the end of the day, he's not a bad man. And by the sound of it, he does deserve a chance, doesn't he, Lydia? It is. But like I said, Tracy, it does have its timing, okay? It does have its setup. All right, so Virgo, first one that you do have, guys, that is going to be the Eight of Pentacles, followed by the second card of the Four of Wands, followed by the King of Pentacles, and the final one for you, Libra, that is going to be the Page of Swords. So additional card to the King of Pentacles, that is going to be the Chariot. It's just a great month. Oh, for Libra. Wow. Yeah, well, before we go to the to Libra for Virgo and Lauren, yeah, I mean, whatever fears you do have about your relationship, you have to talk about them. If that was your personal reading, I would have told you right away. Have you talked about your fears with the person you are with? Okay, and most likely you will say no. You have to pretty much display your fears, but again, not just on a random place and a random time. You will feel when the time is right to kind of like talk about what you are afraid of about your relationship. So for Libra, well, guys, this month I don't know even where to begin from. We do have a person here for you this month. For each one of the Libra, that person is going to take on a different shape. For some of you, is going to be your boss. For others, maybe your wife or husband. You know what I mean. But what happens here is, I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, I do apologize. So what happens here with this person? It is that they will. I'm gonna sneeze again. Okay, so these people, they will want to open up their world for you. I don't know why, but to me, it looks like a hell of a lot as a romantic offer, romantic partnership. That could be your wife or a husband that will want to give you their entire world. But it looks like that way. We are on Libra, Kendra. Now, it's very important, should you be single at that point, Libra, that you do not rush the whole thing through, okay? Because there are a lot of aspects that you do want to consider before you jump into a relationship. And just because you're going to have the offer, it doesn't mean that you will have to necessarily take it, okay? Although is going to be beneficial for you if you do so, just for the time being. Now that offer, there is a chance that that offer could be about business, like being offered a job and like being offered, you know, a partnership into a business. But should that be the case, that person will want something in return. It's not going to be unconditional, okay? They will have a use of you just like you do have a use of them. Now let's talk about the negative side of the month. And the negative side of the month, it is that despite of your performance, at the end you will feel that you have not made any progress. That is going to be the feel. That doesn't necessarily have to be true, because the month itself, as a month of February, is going to be a great month where you can start initiating your plan. And I know a Libra that has a big plan, and I hope that that Libra is about to launch that plan into the month of February, because it does look like that the month is going to be great for launching that plan and making progress into that plan. Although at the end where you're gonna end up, guys, it's a state of a spring cleaning. You are going to start looking around, seeing many things that doesn't make any sense, especially with people. Okay, like you do see that there is no point meeting these people anymore, and therefore relinquish these relationships for good because you don't need them anymore. And also by the end of the month, should you need help, such a help is going to come at your end. But what you need to know before I conclude the reading here is that all the progress you are going to do, you should be proud of yourself, although it's going to feel underwhelming. And again, that is how it's going to feel, but it's not going to be in reality. And it's not going to be because throughout the months, whatever you are to do, you are going to have a keen mind, or rather like keen eye, I'm sorry. So you're going to have a keen eye for the details in it. And thus you are going to make as best for performance as possible, and you will be able to do what you want to do the way you want to do it. For you guys who are single, it is very advisable to open up for the world, start going out, dating people. You know, if you can't, sign up for some kind of a dating apps and so on and so forth. It's just display yourself that you are ready to find and face love. You're welcome, Lauren. All right, so Scorpio, the first one for us, Scorpio, that is going to be the Seven of Pentacles, followed by the next one of the Ace of Cups. Moving next, we do have Temperance. And the final one for us, Scorpio, that is going to be the Fool of... Well, it's a pretty short one. That is because what happens is that throughout the month of February, we are to see that something will want to happen. It just isn't working. Okay, it's not going to work. It's never going to work. And for that, we just have to reprioritize. We need to set our look toward a different direction. It is just to put our energy into some kind of a new beginning. So it's unfortunate here. It's just the miracle isn't gonna happen that we probably are hoping for. I don't know how this applies to me yet, but there is still time up until the month of February to start. But how it's going to start taking shape, it is that little by little we are going to see that we are putting way too much into it and what we are gaining from it. Okay, whether it is our job or whether it is our love life or whether it is a habit that we do have or maybe a hobby that we do have. Okay. And so throughout the month of February, we are going to make the tough choice or the hard choice, just cut it loose, because it only leaks resources like time, like energy, a resource of our happiness as well. For example, if that's a relationship, we're putting resources in and it just isn't working out no matter what we do. It's just it sucks from our happiness, which is a resource, isn't it? So throughout the month of February, it seems that we're going to make the tough choice to just let it go and redirect those resources into something brand new. And when I say brand new, I don't mean a brand new way, like, you know, letting off the old way and trying it anew. I'm talking about a brand new thing, like quitting one job, starting another, like quitting one relationship, starting another. Such kind of a new way I am talking about, okay? Or a new thing I am talking about. You're not quitting one way of trying to do your job for another way of trying to do your job, but quitting the entire job should you decide that your job isn't working out. Obviously, a dramatic month. A relationship may break down, partnership may break down, job may be lost, okay, but we are gaining in return. So we should not be afraid of cutting loose, because it's not about letting go, it's about cutting loose. We should not be afraid of cutting loose a thing that sucks almost everything from us and it just is not providing anything in return. Why we should keep it, right? It doesn't make any sense, at least not to me. And that could be a hope, by the way, cutting loose a hope to be at a specific job, and it just, you know, screw it, I'm gonna start a job whatever I can, and there you go, you just start a job and you fix your finances and so on and so forth. Maybe cutting loose a hope that you're going to reconcile with some kind of a ex, and therefore you open yourself up for new possibilities for relationship, and there you go, you are about to start a new relationship. So it's all about cutting loose a thing, like I said, that it prevents us to grow. So that was for Scorpio and month of February. Dramatic month, I would say. A month that we definitely are not going to kind of like feel favored by, a month that in many states we may feel underwhelmed, but at the end of the day, I think that is going to be a month that is going to offer us with a good substitution. All right, Marina, enjoy your supper. Okay, guys, so that concludes the second cluster of 4-star signs, and now the second free reading is going to take place, or the second break. In this break, I'm gonna gift to one of you a free reading here on public. All you gotta do to get that free reading is to input a question into the comments down below within the next 5 minutes, and after the next 5 minutes are over, should there be questions, I'm gonna pick one question and perform a professional reading on it here on live stream. Other than that, there is a winter sale, maybe should you call it, up until the end of January. Should you purchase the service of one question, video answer to one question, you are gonna get a answer to two questions instead for the price of one. And as well, should you decide to move for 20 minutes live reading with me, you automatically are going to get 5 minutes on top. Of course, everybody who supports me through super chat here is gonna get a reading at the end of the live stream, regardless are they picked for these free readings or not. And should you wish your own personal reading, you can always go to my website, which is listed here in the post, or rather like in the comment, not the comment, the description down below. And there at the very front page, you're gonna see full list of my services, their pricing, and depending on your budget and as well your needs, you can go for whichever service suits you best, guys. What does it mean, the right decision? What do you expect from that firm, Rebecca? Hey, Melissa. Yeah, it has been forever, but I do remember you. All right. Thank you so much. All right. So the question, Rebecca Stewart, am I making the right decision by taking the law firm job? So those are your cards, Rebecca. Those are your cards. We have the King of Wands, catalyzed by the Magician, and after that with the Queen of Pentacles. Definitely that law firm can offer you a substantial future. You can consider it as a trampoline to jump above, even if you do not happen to work there for very long, because these cards are indefinite. You can decide to go to quit a job whenever you like. They will offer you pretty good experience, and not just only experience, but as well recommendation, how do you call it, portfolio even, to find a far better job than what you are capable of right now. Now the company, it has a very ambitious goals. That's firm, and is going to capitalize on you, specifically on these goals, in a way that you are going to be useful. So you are not going to face those shenanigans from before. But on other twist that we do have here, the company probably changed some structures in a way of how they do job, so it will feel more or less like a different company. Is it beneficial for you? Yes, it is very beneficial. Are you gonna have a fun there? No, because it's going to be very much a lot of work, and it's going to be an important work. It's going to be work that a lot is riding on it. Okay, very ambitious work. So should you be ambitious yourself, then yeah, it's a great choice. But if you do hope to go to work and to enjoy it, going there in the sense of, you know, having chat with colleagues and, you know, being in a friendly environment and so on, no, that's not going to be the case, because everybody is going to do their job and is not going to be concerned with everybody around, except the boss. But the bosses, for what it seems, they are very competent into what they do. So if you are competent into your work, you will have no problem with them whatsoever. And I don't think that you're going to have problem by default, because the communication, for what it seems from these cards, the communication in between you and the management is going to be great. So yeah, I think that you made, for a long run, you do made a rather solid choice getting back to that law firm. Okay, okay, Melissa, I'm going to email you after the live stream ends. Okay, I'm going to email you. All right, that was the second free reading, guys. Now I'm going to shuffle the cards, do the last 4 star signs, and after that, the last free reading is going to take place. And after that free reading, there is going to be the super chat readings are going to take place. Anyone who supports me through super chat gets their reading at the end of the live stream, regardless. And man, I don't have any water, and I'm thirsty. Looking forward for 7 a.m. the local shop to open and to buy myself a water. I do drink a specific water because for many of you may know, I do have problems with my kidneys. My kidneys are accumulating stones, and I cannot drink just any kind of water. I need to drink distilled water that doesn't have anything in it aside from H2O, because otherwise the minerals and the potassiums and all that, they crystallize in my kidney and they make stones, and I don't want that. So I do need just only a distilled or distillized water. Wow, 7 months, they really want you. Oh my God. Hey, Kendra, thank you so much. Why are you watching them obsessively? Well, I mean, I'm curious. What makes you watch my lives? What is it there? Yeah, guys, what is making you watch me? I am very curious. Is it my personality, the way I read tarot? What is it out there? Hello, Chelsea. Or Chalet, not Chelsea, Chalet. Hello, welcome to the live stream. Okay, so Sagittarius, first one, we do have the Five of Swords. Followed by the second card for Sagittarius, that is going to be the Wheel of Fortune. Moving next, we have the Five of Wands for Sagittarius. Afterwards, that is going to be the Hanged Man. Shali, okay, thank you. The whole package. Oh, God, thank you. So I guess I got a good package then. Okay. Thank you, Melissa. Oh, that's great. That's great, Kendra. So for Sagittarius, this is going to be a rather risky month. Okay. Within the upcoming month, guys, things are going to be quite speedy, quite dynamic, I should say. In career, you can't expect, and even in relationship, you can't expect everything to go by a plan, because there are always going to be surprises. Okay, you are going to have surprising events here and there, left and right, all around you, if you will. And for those Sagittarius which are used to kind of like have consistency, that is not going to be the month exactly where you are going to have consistency. On the contrary, there is going to be a lot of turnarounds into your career, into your love life as well. I love such a months. It is because they are kind of like, if you have nothing to lose, that month is going to propel you to the cloud nine. But if you do have a lot to lose, then you have to be extremely cautious. Any step you take, every step you take, it's a risk. Okay, it's a risk of losing everything or winning everything. You can consider it like a war, or rather like every enterprise that you are to take, you can't consider it as a war, because everything is at stake. Okay, every word you say, every action you make, it will has its consequences, and some of these consequences could be, how can I put it into words? It could be unforeseen, or rather, like how do I put it? Unanticipated. So, what expectations you should have? Well, as an expectations, you shouldn't have any expectations whatsoever. Things that are going south, say with your marriage, and things are falling apart all the time, suddenly there could be a reversal, a turnaround that is going to save your marriage. Or vice versa, if things are going great into your marriage, something suddenly may happen that is going to start rocking your marriage down. So like I said, no expectations whatsoever. Another thing about the month, it is that you should be very careful where you are placing your trust at, and that it is come from the unpredictability. You may think that you are placing your trust in the right hands and suddenly fall betrayed. And in my country, should there be a Bulgarians that are watching, well, I'm not going to say it in Bulgarian, but we do have that parable here that only a true friend can make up for a true betrayer, or for a true traitor. Okay. So you have to be very careful with your true friends, because you may end up being betrayed by one of them and therefore feel very, very humiliated. So be very careful, because opportunities that may look great and that may look, how can I put it into words, once in a lifetime opportunity, it may end up being very, very bad options available for you. Best thing you can do, guys, is just be quiet for as much as you can, and be very calculative as well, even if that's not your nature. It's just there isn't much else to be said about Sagittarius here. Things can go wrong just as much as things can go in either way, and that's why, if you do not have anything to lose, you have no love life, you have no a career, how can I say, prosperity, then the month of February is going to be a great month, because if you are on the rock bottom, the only surprises you're going to get are going to take you on the top of it, right? They're going to take you out of the rock bottom. But if you are on a cloud nine, anything you face has a potential to bring you down. So be very, very careful about the opportunity you face into the things you are pleased by. For example, if you do have a prosperable business, your business prospers, you make a really, really good money out there, and suddenly you do have that huge opportunity to expand your business in a larger scale. Be very, very careful about that opportunity, because it may ruin your business altogether. I'm not saying don't take it, but make your research about it. Do not take it blindly. Maybe you should, Pisces Moonbeam. And that should tell you something. If I haven't been wrong for years, maybe sometimes it's better for you not to ask, because you may not know what you're gonna hear. I try to be nice. Wow. I am trying to be nice. I know I'm never trying to be nice. I just trying to be polite, okay? Because yeah, I say what I have to say, but not in a way that is gonna make you feel bad, although it's the truth. It's just, you know, it comes from my experience, because at the start I was very rude. I mean, people were telling me how rude I am with my readings, and I said, why I'm rude? I'm just saying you what the cards are showing. Because if you ask me, am I gonna end up together, and I just say no, you are not going to, and they say, oh my god, you are so rude. Why? It's just, this is what the card shows, that you're not gonna end up together, so you're not gonna end up together, and it is exactly what I'm saying. No, you're not. How is that rude? I don't know. I don't understand. But you know, with time, and that is because the culture of Bulgarian and of English is very different. And even when I am talking with Pisces Moonbeam as well, about job, about work, sometimes I say things that in my culture they are just a casual things, you know, that they are not considered rude by any means. She gets insulted, and that starts a whole kind of like a drama, wallpapering, so on and so forth. It's just how I'm sitting there. What did I say? Oh my god! But in my language, they're not considered remotely rude. It's just, you know, you say what you gotta say, and that's that. Well, Kendra, if that's the case, yeah, and you are Sagittarius, yeah, I mean, you can expect in the month of February that you are going to have your opportunities to get yourself up from the rock bottom. Yeah. That's because, no, you can't blame that. You cannot blame that. Man, these Russians. I mean, look at these Russians. All right, so Capricorn. First one, that is going to be the King of Swords for Capricorn, followed by the Death card. So whatever your question is about, is it over? No, it isn't. All right, just to make that clear right there. If you do have a question, is it over? No, it isn't. Just by the look of those two cards. Followed by the Hermit. And the final one for you, Capricorn, that is going to be the Ten of Swords. So it isn't over, but it can be at the end of the month, okay? It isn't yet, but it can be at the end of the month. Wow, man, what a month is in front of you. For Capricorn. Yeah, it's a great laugh. What do you mean North America isn't as blunt? Well, you can't even call it blunt, Kendra, because it's the truth. And the truth is just only one. It's either yes or no for the most part. And if there are more than one ways to say the truth, then it is not the truth, because it's only one truth, right? But alas, let's get back to Capricorn here. So like I said, no, it isn't over. You can't hope that things are going to change on their own accord. And you definitely have some unfinished business with whatever you're trying to walk away from. Whether it is a promise you have to keep or should be kept towards you. Whether it is unfulfilled love. Whether it is some kind of a money that's you owe to one or another, whether it is a unsaid things you want to say something but you didn't have the chance to do so, or the other person wants to say something to you but they didn't have the chance to do so. The thing is that all that is going to come and bite you, and that doesn't necessarily has to be a bad thing, into the months of so it's going to come back and bite you, not necessarily in a bad way, into the month of February. The month of February is going to be mainly a month of deliberation, okay? Deliberation in the sense of that, and probably that's not in your nature. I don't know the nature of Capricorn, but the deliberation is going to be very specific. That is, I will try to explain it as best as I can. But you are going to start thinking about, does what you are developing, for example, or what you have, what you are involved into, makes sense? Does it work for you? We have the King of Swords into the first position. And many people think that the King of Swords, it's very ruthless, and how can I put it into words? Vindictive, vengeful, and in generally, how can I, warmongery individual. That's kind of untrue. It is true into certain circumstances, but not in all circumstances. How the King of Swords accept life, it is like life should be like well-oiled machine. Everything in it should serve its purpose, okay? And he is also a part of that machine, and so one part serves its purpose and helps the other part. So if he does not have an use of you, then he is going to cut you loose ruthlessly. But if he does have use of you, you have use of them as well, okay? So he's not using you for that is just as an archetype. He's not using you ruthlessly here. He's also providing back. And for you, Capricorn, that is going to be the month you are going to think that which is not over, is it still a part of your life? Can it be a part of your life like a well-oiled machine? Do you have use of it as it has use of you? And so by the end of the month, you are going to make up your mind about it for good this time around, okay? And you are going to render your judgment. Whatever that judgment is going to be substantial, in a sense of that from there on moving forwards, there aren't going to be any ups and downs, or rather, like, there aren't going to be any downs. But it seems that yours, how can I put it into words? You're going to focus on what is important in your life, career-wise, relationship-wise, and so on and so forth. But definitely at the end of the month, Capricorn, you are going to make a very definitive decision about your future for that thing which is not yet over, whether it is a job, relationship, a promised loan, so on and so forth. And either it is going to be over for good, or is going to be there to stay for the rest of your life. One of the two, all right? And you are going to make your right choice, because through the King of Swords, through very careful analysis of the use, the cumulative, the mutual use of you and the thing which is not over, you are going to see the way out of your difficulty, whether it is a difficulty to let it go, or whether it is a difficulty to make it work. Either way of it is going to provoke a new era in your life that you are going to very much enjoy. And not just only enjoy, but should you find yourself right now in the darkest place in your life, you are to see the light that shines for you out there in the darkness. And if you do have a question, do I, for example, love that woman or a man, you are going to find the answer into the month of February. Well, Tracy, probably that is because you gave me some background story and I was just, wow, I mean, if that guy does these things, why do you even ask about him, you know? So, yeah, I don't know why I said that. But if it helped you, I am glad that it helped you. So that was for Capricorn. Now, moving next, we do have Aquarius. So I am crossing my fingers that Aquarius is going to be far better reading than the Scorpio, because I am rising Aquarius, all right? And just a little secret here, the rising sign has much more application than the sun sign into these readings. The sun sign shows you how you are to face the upcoming events, while the rising sign actually tells you what you are to face. Oh yeah, I do always speak my mind, guys. I do always speak my mind. North America is super sensitive and people get insulted easily. That's shame on North America. I mean, you cannot be always polite. And that is something as well that I observed in England, okay? When I was there for many, many occasions. People were saying thank you and sorry every second word in their sentences, to a point that these words means nothing. And it means nothing in a way that I don't know if they mean it, okay? When they say thank you, it is just a politeness which is fake. And it's something that we don't do here in Bulgaria. For example, if you go to the supermarket and they tell you how much you owe for your grocery, you just give the money to them, they give you the change back, and you part ways. You do not say thank you, because I don't need to thank the guy on the cash out to do their job. They are there for their job and they get paid for it. I don't have to thank them for that, nor I should please them to do their job. Okay, and that's why when here you do say thank you, you really mean it. And when you, and please, it's a word like begging as well in Bulgarian. Okay, so when you say please, you really mean it. I mean, it's you really mean it. So here, please and I beg of you has the same word, and it's just, you know. All right, Aquarius. Back to Aquarius. First one, we do have the Nine of Pentacles. That's a really, really promising start for Aquarius. Followed by the Six of Swords. Again, a promising follow-up. Moving next, we do have the World. And the final one for Aquarius is going to be the Ace of Pentacles. It's going to be a great one. It's going to be a great one. Okay, so for Aquarius, the month is going to be not just only great because Aquarius will be able to accomplish great stuff, but also it's going to be great because they are to see that they can do so much more. So what you can expect, yeah, maybe so. I am. Well, I hope so, Rebecca. So what you can expect, Aquarius, is throughout the month. Well, the biggest thing that you can expect is a furthering. I don't know how to place it into words. So whatever you're working on, whether you're working on your marriage or whether you're working on your business or whatever, you can expect that thing that you are, whatever you're working on, to grow little by little, to grow to a point where you are to be very, very pleased with it. Because throughout the months you are to find yourself having the necessary opportunities to further that goal you have, to a point where if you are working on your marriage, that marriage is going to become very harmonious, very loving and content. Should you be working on your business, that business is going to become rather successful, lucrative, you know, and with many opportunities and options, and therefore you are going to start building up a how do you put it into words, business commodities, maybe, or rather like a so what you should strain for, it's well, the months will ask you to be a little bit more initiative than usual from Aquarius. What I mean is that whenever you do feel that you are a little bit scared of to proceed forward, that is exactly the direction that you should force yourself into, or rather like the direction that you should move toward into the month of February. And as well, the month of February has a big prospect for you, Aquarius, to truly finalize stuff, like settle scores, like make things final. So if you are hoping to just conclude a business venture, or to conclude relationship, to conclude a unsettled things with your exes, either an ex-boss or an ex-lover, it's a great month for you to do so, just so you know how you stand with one another. And in generally, the month for you, Aquarius, it's a month for a great leap into development, one way or another. The only thing that is going to elude you throughout the month is to convince people into your agenda and to convince people into your cause. So if you are expecting that you are going to work with in a team for a common cause, that is not exactly the case into the month of February. It's more solo type month where you grow on your own, and ultimately through these leaps into development, like I say, at the end you're gonna end up in a really good place. Should you happen to be single, or should you happen to be without a job, well, congratulations guys, because into the month of February you're gonna have your chance to settle a really substantial either a job or either a relationship. And last but not least, we do have Pisces. Hey, Star Lover. Right, for Pisces, the first one that is going to be the Two of Swords, followed by the Ace of Wands. Moving next, we do have the Six of Swords, and the final one is going to be the Queen of Swords, those four cards. Right away for Pisces, that is a very passive month, what we have into these cards. Guys, that is a month where you should not take the responsibility of making choices. Definitely not. Now, throughout this month, everything is going to linger on a very specific balance, on a very specific equilibrium, and you do not want to be the one who disrupts that equilibrium. The month, in its overall expectation, it should be rather very peaceful, okay? And for the most part very uneventful, or it is how you should aim to spend it here, because having the Ace of Wands into the second position, it means that you are going to have your fair share of opportunities to involve yourself into enterprises that seem gainingful but they aren't, and that's a choice that you will have to make, rather to involve yourself. And that's why throughout the month you should refrain yourself from making any choices, because the right things, whether they are the right jobs or the right relationships or, you know, the right approach or whatever, is going to be available even at the end of the month. And that way you are going to know that that is a right direction for you. Should it be something that you either take it or leave it, you definitely should leave it, into, at least according to these cards. That is the guidance, that is the advice. Other than this, the month is very how can I put it into words? The month is very beneficial for you to jump into long-term plans, in a sense of, when I say long-term plans, I mean plans that you have made for a very, very long time, but you never had the courage to make an initiation. You definitely can make an initiation. Those those stirrers that you should not take, what I was talking about, they are something brand new that you never anticipated up until this moment, and they just come out of the blue and say you either take it or you leave it. And according to these cards, you should definitely leave it. Whatever the case is, should you have how can I put it into words, a major drama, conflict, or dilemma, you can expect that to be resolved by the end of the month. And by the end of the month, you are to see yourself in a position where you are pushing your things through, but the right things through, which have been left by the end of the month. You have to think of this month like a month of elimination. Whatever it is not for you, through your passiveness, is going to relinquish itself from your life. Like no different than if you do have a couple of people to date with and you don't know which one you should go by with, okay? Just don't go by with any one of them, and one of them is going to lose interest from your lack of interest and is going to walk away, but the one that stays has the patience to wait for you. Therefore it is your right choice, okay? And with that guy, you can push your things through. It's no different about business, it's no different about family as well. So it's a month of great patience for you, Pisces, and as well being able to see the situation from all points of view. But above everything else, the right choices with enough patience, the right decisions, the right choices will become obvious to you at the end. Shelly, thank you so much for your $5 US. Thank you so much, Shelly. I'm going to perform you very soon a personalized reading of the month, so don't go anywhere. Well, that's our culture, and some people consider it rude, but it isn't. It's just, at least to us, it isn't. Alright guys, so that concludes the 12 star signs, and now the last free reading is going to take place, or the last break, should I say. So If you do want a free reading from me, all you gotta do is just input a question into the comments down below within the next 5 minutes. And after that, from the pool of questions, should there be a poll, I'm gonna pick one question and perform a professional reading on that question. And after that, the super chat readings are going to take place. I'm glad you liked it, Shelly. Why do people suck so badly? Which people? Good night, Angela. Thank you for sticking around as always. Till next time. Yeah, till next time. What deck were I using? I'm gonna show it right now. It's this deck. Let me see if it's on focus. Yeah, it's this deck. Well, Chelsea, people do suck for many reasons. That's well, Shelly. Listen, I'm talking from my own observation, and as well from the philosophy of tarot. Okay, so philosophy of tarot is that the true happiness of people, okay, when you are happy with somebody else, it needs to flow. What I mean, it is that you should be happy when you make the other person happy and vice versa. But think about it, that is so difficult to establish, because even now, I don't know about you, but by myself, if thou craves for love, it is because thou wants thou thyself to be happy, right? It doesn't care if the other person is going to be happy. And that's a huge problem. For example, should you decide to jump into a relationship, it's not because that way you're going to make the man that you're going to end up in a relationship with happy, but because you are going to be happy, which is the fundamental problem. We have to do, if we want to be happy with somebody, we got to do things because are going to make the other person happy, and that should make us happy. Okay, it's and vice versa. In that way, the happiness cannot be cannot be disturbed. And the answer to your question, following that logic, it is that people suck because they do anything, or they do, or everything they do because they're gonna make themselves feel better. They don't care if they're gonna make you feel better. Okay, they just don't care, because that's how the human nature operates. Rebecca, thank you so much for your $5 support, Rebecca. Let me put you into the list, and I'm gonna perform you a personalized reading of the month. Yeah, it's that's the way. I mean, this is why people hurt each other by a definition. That is the very core of why people are treating each other unwell and bad. It's because they do anything, they make themselves happy without understanding that if you do not make other person happy and that doesn't make you happy, then what are you doing there, right? I mean, why are you with this person? All right, so the question comes from Mattia. Which offer should my client accept, be the first or the second? Let's check it out. Although, Mattia, I need to warn you that I cannot make decisions for your clients. The card's only going to show which one is going to be more profitable, but that doesn't mean that the client cannot work around with both of the offers, okay? It is. Pisces Moonbeam, I'm not going to answer that. I already picked the question. And I answer that. Alright, Mattia. So I drew 2 elemental dignities for each offer. That is the elemental dignity for the first offer, and that is the elemental dignity for the second offer. Okay, so for the first offer, we do have a passive friends of the devil and the 3 of cups. And the second offer, we do have a passive neutrals of the 4 of pentacles and the page of wands. So both offers are gonna work out, okay? The second offer is going to be way more stable and is going to be way more consistent than the first offer, but the second offer very quickly is going to restrict the unfoldment of the enterprise, meaning that once you set a course, you cannot change that course, you cannot adapt, you cannot pretty much, you know, add things to it, and it will feel very telegraphed, it will feel very restrictive going forward. But that offer, the second offer, is going to has a promise for a great future, and it should be rather very, very lucrative. The first offer, from another hand, it will be very satisfiable in a sense of how things are developing. I don't know if that's about presenting a product on the market or anything like that, but in generally, the people around you, or rather like the people that the offer is going to affect, are going to be very, very pleased with it. And it's generally there are going to be very good results with the first offer, at least initially, and it will feel like the first offer goes exactly the way you all wanted it to go, which doesn't necessarily means the way that was planned, but the way that everyone wanted it to go. So I don't know, if I were at your client's shoes, I would have picked the second offer, because I hate versatility. I hate things to go out of character and to go outside of plan. But should your client is entrepreneur and they like to invest in, you know, have many options available, the first offer, it's a great offer to get. But each one of them is going to work out, okay? Thank you, Tracy. Thank you so much for your another support, 4.99. Thank you so much. Alright, guys, so that concludes the third free reading, and just a couple of minutes and I'm gonna jump into the super chat readings. I mean, what? I have a beautiful smile. Truth be told, Deborah, I think that my smile is very, in my language, we call it infantile, when you look kind of crazy and odd. But I do guess that that's kind of like how everybody sees themselves. I just hate my smile. It feels so ridiculous, or to me, it looks very ridiculous. Shelly, the monthly readings are 30 US dollars and they focus on three fields. It's a 9 card spread that focuses on your career, finances, and as well romantic life. You can purchase a monthly reading going into the link down below in the description. Let me check if it is there. It should be there. So yeah, you do have a PayPal me link for 30 US dollars, which is the only PayPal me link which I have, because that's not a all around the clock service. Okay, so you can't find it in my website. Only through the link into the description you can purchase such. And up until the end of January, you are gonna get your reading for February. Yeah, that's true, Pisces Moonbeam. I hate changes. All right, Greta, I'm gonna make your reading at the end. So yeah, I'm gonna make your reading at the end. Because you have a specific inquiry about how long, and that requires a larger spread, okay? That requires a larger spread. How long? That's why. All right, Tracy, your month. 10 of Wands with the Ace of Swords. Those two cards, we do have a active friends. That's an elemental dignity of active friends, and this is gonna be right. So this is gonna be a very busy month on your end. There are going to be lots of promises and as well involvements that you will have to keep to a point where you may find yourself right on the edge. But the good thing is that you are gonna find the spiritual strength to push through all that, and as well the whole development there, especially career-wise. Okay, you're gonna have a lot of tasks to manage into your career. You're gonna have a lot of people to not a lot of people, but a lot of not deadlines, but expectations to cover, and you will be able to meet all of these expectations and manage all of these tasks, career-wise and as well relationship-wise, if you will. and that is going to give you an incentive to negotiate for yourself a better conditions, like better conditions at work or better conditions at a relationship. All that I am saying here, Tracy, it is that, yeah, the month is going to be very busy. The month is going to be very, very demanding. It will feel like you cannot stray even for a second, and you have to always keep up with all the environment. But at the end, is going to provide you the leverage and as well the incentive to ask for a rewards, and the rewards are going to be as big as you can negotiate them. So it's a good month. I mean, if you are not afraid of putting some sweat on your forehead, okay, and work for your meal, the meal could be a real feast at the end. So that was for Tracy. Next one, that is going to be Mattia, and your card for February is the Four of Cups with the Three of Swords, and these are cards of healing. We do have a passive neutrals, cards of healing from a past failures. Or what it means, it is that into the month of February, there are going to be, Matthias, some situations you are to face which are very reminiscent with the past, and under normal circumstances you would kind of like restrict yourself or refrain yourself from taking a participation of these situations of fear that the history repeat itself, but not this time around. This time around, just on contrary to the expectations, or I don't know how to put it into words, you are going to defy the past experience, and you are gonna try anew. And I do believe that you are to succeed into the most of it. The month is gonna break the boring routine for what it seems, and out of all the environment around you into the month of February, Mattia, there are going to be one really, really good opportunity for you, but it will require from you to have a mental sharpness to take it, okay? So spending a month emotionally, it's not a good place for you to spend a month. You should be more mentally oriented for the month itself. I hope that that's explained it. Liz, your card for the month of February is the Two of Wands with the Lover's card. It's a great combination. We do have a active friends here as an elemental dignity, and month of February is going to be a huge month of growth, whether it is career, whether it is love for you. But through that growth, you are going to bestow harmony upon your life, harmony into your relationships, into your business ventures as well. The month is going to be so huge that, for example, if you find yourself being unemployed, you're going to have many options to choose from where to work, and which each one of them is going to be simply better than the last work you had. Same thing goes about a love as well, and it ultimately falls to what you are going to settle for, because each option is going to be different, very, very different from the other, and you just have to, you know, go forward and decide what you want to live with for the future moving forward. But what these cards also are suggesting, it is that you do have a very exciting and amazing accomplishments by these points, skills, knowledge that should not stick idle or should not stay idle, but instead you should look forward to improve it. Pick away how you want to improve it. Danny, your card for the month of February, that is going to be the Knight of Pentacles, catalyzed with the Two of Swords. We do have a passive enemies here, and Danny, the time of staying idle is over pretty much here. Unfortunately, throughout the month of February, you will feel very rushed, and it is like you don't have any choice to make, but you just have to set in motion events, chain of events, whether it is within your career or within your love life, that it will feel like you have no control over. But that's not exactly true, that you don't have any control over. What advice I can give you here, Danny, it is that you should be very telegraphed, maybe it is, what should I say, and like whenever action you are to make, you should look very, very determined that you really mean what you are to make. Other than that, the month is not going to be without its moments of respite, and there will be an incentive or a chance for you to spend those moments of respite among nature, like hiking, like walking out in parks, and so on and so forth. Shelley, your card is the Magician, followed by the Ten of Cups. So Shelley, how am because you came about with this very rich person that wants to be in a relationship with you, and if we do refer those cards to that person, Shelly, that person is gonna cherish you and love you for who you are, okay? They will not want to change you a tiny bit, nor they will decide to take over, like dominate and take control over you. Other than that, the month of February for you, Shelly, is going to be a month where you are just going to feel that things are not enough. No matter how good job you have, or how good, how can I put it into words, how good romantic life you have, it's simply you will start thinking about that you are a person, and at the end of the day we need to see growth, and no matter how much you have, at the end of the day, that's what you have is not enough. And thus you are going to start thinking about new enterprises, new venture, career-wise, relationship-wise. But also the month of February for you, Shelly, is going to be a month where you're going to build up your personal sovereignty, which is the incentive here, that should you end in a relationship into the month of February, that relationship is not going to be a relationship of domination by a large margin. And as well, on top of it, in this month of February, you can definitely get your points across in generally, and your point is to be listened as well. Next one, that is going to be Rebecca. Rebecca, your card is the Five of Cups with the full card here. Okay, so we do have those two cards for the month of February. And Rebecca, the month of February is gonna feel very underwhelming for you. For the most part, it is because your expectations for certain things are simply not gonna turn out the way you want them to be. So many of your expectations are not going to be met, but that doesn't mean that the right thing isn't happening. Just on the contrary, it is just your expectations was not the right expectations, according to the cards at least. And therefore, whatever sense of loss or whatever sense of disappointment you do have, you need to swipe it under the rug, or just brush it off, because should you happen to have a sense of loss, it's just a partial loss, or should you be disappointed, it's just a temporary disappointment. Just stick around or stick about with what you have decided in favor of. So should you decide for that law firm to be a part of, even if the start of it, month of February, feels underwhelming, that doesn't mean it is the wrong choice for you. Yeah, because these cards are speaking that should you make a choice or step forward, you cannot pull back from it just like that. Okay. All right, and the last one, that is going to be for Greta, but let me reshuffle Greta, because I do need a larger spread to be able to determine your time frame. You're welcome, Shelley. You're welcome, Danny. All right, Greta, those are the cards. Okay. First off, they speak that you actively need to start seeking for a buyer, okay? Because it's a bit unlikely that the right buyer is going to come about on their own. So taking services of agencies and so on, brokers, is going to help you tremendously, but it just is going to help, okay? It is not a mandatory, but if you do want to speed the things up, you definitely can use that. Should you be able to sell the property, the cards are definitive that you will, and a business deal should break out, so rather like a negotiations over a business deal should break out about the start of May to the mid of May this year, and you can speed that one up. But like I said, hiring a broker, if you do have a broker, then it's not the right broker according to these cards, because you gotta hire a new one or rehire a broker. But you you just have to, how can I put it into words, kind of like go about with the markets. Also, it's not excluded that you will have to make some tiny how can I put into words, refreshments into the property, where when people go to visit and to look out for it, you know, to make a review, it kind of feels more appealing. But other than that, it seems that you're gonna sell it. And the latest, like I said, a negotiation for a deal should break out at the start to the mid of May this year. If you are asking about the price is going to be enough to ensure your future. Okay, so that's what the card says. It may not be the price you ask, but it's going to be a price that is going to ensure your certain future. So that was your reading, Greta. I hope you you enjoy it and you find it informative. And that's gonna do it for the live stream as well, guys. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for sticking around. I love you all. And as well, just to repeat myself with the sales, that's there are 2 sales going on which are gonna stick around up until the end of January. One is answer to a question, now becomes answer to 2 questions. You get 2 for 1, right? So that happens by you purchasing video answer to 1 question. Automatically that makes you eligible for a second answer. And also the 20 minutes reading is going to add a 5 minutes on top of it as well, automatically by you purchasing it. Other than that, guys, that's gonna be all. That's gonna do it. Thank you so much for sticking around, and we're gonna see each other next time. Until then, bye.